This film also had the creepiest Santa. And you could,
oh my god, yes!
We need to find the fourth dimension, and by finding all these tiny little perfect things that happen in our neighborhood or in our town or whatever, we're gonna find the fourth dimension, and we're missing one. I'll pick Andrew Garfield. Peter 3.
Peter 3.
Ooh, that comic book filter.
This green ball?
This green tennis ball is Vecna,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. We're talking about Chippendales the dancers, right? Not
Yeah.
Chippendales the chipmunks? Okay, I was just making sure. I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
Hello, cinema peeps! In the middle of Canada Train.
Deuces.
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 All the deuces. Wait, are you still in your PJs or did you change?
I put sweatpants on and a hoodie.
Okay,
So
close
I
enough.
still technically have my pajama shirt on, but I
did it.
I tried to look a little less slobby, I guess. I put a hat on too.
I decided I didn't care. I was
I'm comfortable.
I'm wearing my Angry Birds. This is what I wear to sleep, apparently.
Nice. Excellent. PJ podcast.
PJ Tuesday because of all the snow. Oh
Yeah.
My God.
Well, for some context for our lovely viewers, it's been a fun weekend. We went on a trip to Vancouver.
We saw each other in person, so we are real people.
Yes. We're not just a simulation.
Correct.
But yes,
And
we went to the Vancouver Expo.
Mm-hmm.
Had some fun, which we can get into. We can talk about a little bit if we want. But then coming back, I don't know if it's just a travel bug or allergies or what the deal is, but I'm a little under the weather today. So that's why I didn't feel like getting all dolled up. So I'm comfortable.
Agreed. We just we're still back from the vacation low, so
Yeah.
trying not to do anything.
Going
But
from nice lush greenery to white cold snow.
Yeah, and I mean, even in Vancouver, it's you know, the gloomy, but at the same time, like I like it, you know, because even though we had looked up earlier in the week and it was supposed to be raining that whole time, we really didn't get rained on. We had that.
Yes.
I think the most was that drizzle when we were coming back from Granville Island,
Yeah. There was
and even
that.
so, that was pretty minor.
Oh yeah, totally. And then I think the worst was like the Friday when we got there because we were kind of walking around like soaked.
I was gonna say I didn't get wet at all. My shoes were.
Yeah, I
pretty good
guess
and stuff.
Zena and I more so were just because we did a little bit of exploring before you got there. But
Listen, I was trapped at the airport. The logbook was missing. I've
logbook.
never heard. If anyone's ever heard of this bullshit, they were like, "Sorry, we can't take off. We need the logbook." I'm like, "Isn't everything digital now?" They kept like, to be fair, maybe it is. It felt like it was being referred to as like an actual like paper
this like
book.
ancient leather-bound book with dust
Yeah.
on it, and they're like,
Pretty
flip to the
much.
page.
Yeah, I was like, "What is this nonsense?"
Yeah.
Also, people, this is just a PSA. Traveling is difficult. Whether you are a seasoned traveler or not, it is difficult. You're cramming a whole bunch of people. You're sardines on a plane.
Yep.
Why do you gotta be a bitch to the people who are working there?
Yeah.
Like, I'd say for most times I've flown, like, I haven't had too many, like, disgruntled people, and yet this weekend, why? There were so many. It was,
really.
like, they were yelling at the poor staff, and I was like, what are you yelling at them for? They are
Yeah.
doing their job. I'm sorry you're fucking stupid and can't read, or, you know, you don't understand the rules, but, like,
Yep.
there's stuff you need to follow. Like, I just
Right.
don't get it. And I don't know why you think, oh, I'm going to attack fire with fire because this will make the most sense. It's like, no. Have you not? Has no one learned?
Nope.
And now I guess, I don't want to say COVID-free world, but like a post-COVID world when there was
Yeah.
all those videos of people being assholes on planes.
Yep.
And you saw what happened to most of those people. Like, why did you think your anger would... Hell, it's wild to me.
Somehow we've just developed a little bit more of a bad habit of feeling entitled these days. And we have to all remember that everybody's human. We all want to get to the same place. We all want to just have a good time. So practice a little bit of patience and kindness, as hard as it is to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because ultimately these people control when and where you can go.
Yeah.
As much as you think you have all this freedom, you don't. So,
but I mean,
yeah.
other than that, I mean, the flight was pretty fine. It was mind-boggling to me for the most part. But anyways, more happier things. Trip, fun times. It was great. It was fun.
It was lots of fun. It was. I felt like it was, like I told you, it was an iconic moment for us two, because we hadn't been back to Vancouver together since we were in school. So that was pretty special. I was soaking up every bit of that moment as you heard me be like, we should reenact our photos that we did. So that was fun.
It was nice because like we went to a couple of like places we've kind of been to when we were living in Vancouver, but at the same time I felt like we were also going to a lot of places we don't normally go to and explore, so that was really fun. And of course we're already talking about a trip too, but
oh yeah,
that's in the future. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I enjoyed my time at the Vancouver Expo.
Yep.
Again, it was so weird that everything was all in the same room. I mean, it was helpful for us to get around and get all the stuff done we wanted to.
Yes.
Because I was worried that it was gonna be the size of Calgary, and we only had 10 to 7, and I was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it all.
Yeah.
But I feel we got pretty lucky. So.
Oh yeah.
We're able to end a little bit early and then go to have Red Robin's on Robson Street.
Hell yeah.
Went to the Dank Market for some treats, which I still have. One baggie of goodies left from the trip.
Oh, you haven't cracked them open yet?
No. You know what? I'll crack them open right now. There's
Hell
3
yeah.
flavors: tropical punch, cherry, and grape.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can figure out which is which.
Ooh.
Ugh. But here we got the 3 colors, I'm pretty sure.
Excellent.
Got our 3 colors. Let's be like those, like, what is it? The Instagram? Instagram.
Oh, can you see it?
Right? There we go.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Then we got our purple.
Wow.
So Instagrammable. Okay, so I'm guessing, obviously, purple's grape, red is cherry, and tropical punch. So, tropical punch, I'm gonna go. That was pretty okay. If you had given it to me, couldn't tell you it was tropical punch, though, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, great.
Tell us what you're experiencing. What's the texture like? What's the flavor?
Very chewy.
The chewing consistency.
Okay, here's the grape.
Grape is usually pretty, distinguishable. I feel like you
Right?
can always tell.
And cherry.
Cherry. I don't know. I was never a fan of the cherry flavor Kool-Aid. I know that's like I guess the iconic, flavor or color, but I feel like I don't know if it was tropical punch, but there was a really light blue flavor that was my favorite.
Maybe it was tropical punch.
Maybe, because I feel like there was 2 different kinds of blue. There was a darker blue, and then there was this kind of light, really light baby blue color, and I really liked that one.
Well, I think grape was the best, at least in terms of flavor.
Okay.
Cherry was pretty faint, but I could maybe tell you it was cherry, but the tropical punch, I'm actually a little shocked that I couldn't even tell. But I mean, it was good. It's a good gummy.
Yeah?
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm pretty happy. But yeah, we went to a lot of candy stores, got ice cream.
Yes, we
hung
got
out
ice
at the
cream.
beach. It was a good time.
Yeah, we took some dope-ass photos.
Yes, which I still have to work on, so hopefully I'll be able to post them soon, but I gotta... That's always the problem. I love taking pictures, I love doing videos, but then it's I have to go through them, and I have to, edit out the bad ones. And I can't just post a picture. I need to, edit the picture. It's just...
See, that's my favorite part, because that's basically what I was doing at the airport while we were waiting. I was just I'll just quickly edit some photos while we're here. I got nothing else to do.
Right? Well, I don't know. It can equally be fun, but equally be very, I don't know, tiring.
Yeah.
Depending on how many pictures you take, then you're like...
Yes, this is
This
true.
is very exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked, as I told you. I was shocked that at the size of the Vancouver Expo. We haven't, this is our first time at the Vancouver Expo, so I don't know if it's been larger in years past, but knowing the size of the convention center, I was expecting bigger, I guess. And it ended up just being kind of in the basement or lower level section of the convention center. And again, like Caleigh said, it was nice for convenience because everything was all in one spot. being that we've had experience going to Calgary, there's been times where we've had to like run from one building to the next just to like make sure we get on time to the things we need to do, whereas everything was all in one place, which was nice. But because of that, it made it a little bit squishier, so it was kind of a little overwhelming in some areas to kind of get around, and it was hard to look at things because there were so many people. I mean, Calgary's like that too, but I feel like there's more space. I feel like you at least have...
I think this is just like a convention thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think no matter what you do, like, it's a cramped hallway with space. You just have to, as we said with the airplane, you kind of just have to have some patience with it, just because I really don't think there's anything you can really change to improve that. But again, maybe not. But my favorite is always when there's just a group of people that are like, time to just stand in the middle, and I'm like, please, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I'm guilty of doing that now and again, but, like, I try to at least be like, okay, keep the flow of traffic going. Am I not moving? Can I move off to the side? Like, what can I do?
Right, yeah.
But I think that's even, like, Calgary, any of the ones I've been to, I think that's just a forever theme, which is just, it's the way it is, unfortunately.
It is the way it is. And I was saying to Zena, too, I think this was when you were out shopping around in the floor there, I was saying to Zena, I feel like this year I noticed, and again, like we could talk about it a bit, but like I just felt like there was a lot more like comic book and anime cosplays than there were any other cosplay, whereas like in the, maybe it's just what I've observed, but like in the past with Calgary and stuff like that, I felt like there was a lot more like movie and like big TV show cosplays, but then again also all those shows have kind of wrapped up since, I guess, so they're not quite as mainstream or popular now. So
yeah,
like there was a Negan, we saw a Negan walking around, but I really didn't see much other, and like there was a few Arrows we saw for obvious reasons because Stephen Amell was there, but I just felt like I saw more cosplays of things I didn't recognize than years past.
There's definitely like, depending on what's popular right currently, you'll see obviously a spike of those cosplays, and then depending on what guest is there, that can also kind of determine a lot of people's cosplays. And again, we only went there for a day out of the 3 days, because we pretty much got everything we wanted to get done in that day because we wanted to do more sightseeing, you know. So I know people will have multiple different outfits for every day of like events of I was gonna say cosplay events, but of like expos and stuff. So that obviously changes what you see. I mean, that also goes with like what vendors are selling as well in terms of like art.
Right.
I find it more an artist alley than in like the other vendors, but definitely you know what you're like, oh, this must be a popular show because now I've seen like 5 pieces of this art at like different tables.
Right.
Which sometimes can be nice because if you're like, oh, I'm just getting into the show, it's like, oh, wow, look, there's already like a piece of art I can buy, you know, for my show. But then there's other times you're like, oh, I really wish more people would do like this show or that show. So sometimes that's a little harder to find.
Right. And like I was thinking too, because I know there's that one lady who does the sketches of like the guys shirtless, like all of the TV characters and stuff. And I was thinking to myself too, like again at this convention I didn't see a lot of like there was the odd Marvel and Batman or DC kind of artworks, but I just felt like I've seen more other things at Calgary in years past of like Doctor Who and Supernatural and Walking Dead and like all other kinds of artworks. Whereas there was a lot more anime, which I'm not like hating on, but it's something I noticed. I was like, oh, okay. So maybe it's because all those shows are done now, so they're not quite as mainstream, like I was saying, or maybe like you said, it's whatever's popular, right? Because obviously they need to sell it, so.
Right, and I mean, I was actually surprised at how many other vendors that were there that have been to like the Calgary Expo.
Oh yeah,
because that was like our other hope going, right? Is that we were going to see other vendors that maybe don't venture outside of Vancouver. So that's what I was looking forward to seeing. But there was one table where I was like, oh yeah, but I was like, I can't buy any art unless I can transfer it safely. Yeah. Oh, I did get my postcards. Let's see if I can.
Oh yeah, your postcards.
I got my postcards. Got my cute little Animal Crossing. But yeah, I was surprised that most art vendors will have so many like little cards that you can use to like follow them online. Yeah. Love the Celeste one. Got one of the coffee shop. They're all Animal Crossing related, if you don't know. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
Those are so cute.
Right? So yeah, I was surprised because I remember when you guys asked about a card, I was like, oh yeah, they didn't slip me one at all. Normally, like from Calgary, I have like a trading card stack worth of cards.
Right?
But again, I was trying not to buy too much art just because of transport reasons.
Yeah.
I speak for myself. I feel like you might agree. I did enjoy my time at the Vancouver Expo. But yeah, I think depending on like if there's a whole bunch of guests I want to see again, then I consider going down again.
Yes.
And in a perfect world, I would like to go for like a week.
Yes. Agreed.
Because again, in theory, if there's more people we want to see, then we can, go for a couple days, but then do some more just kind of cruising around Vancouver. It was nice.
Agreed. I feel like this was a good like test the waters kind of trip. We got to do a little bit of everything, and it's nice that we got to accomplish what we wanted to do. And I feel like the biggest reason was that the reason we kind of like decided to jump on this opportunity, other than the fact that we got to go back to Vancouver, was that Stephen Amell was coming, and he hadn't come to a con when like near our neck of the woods in a while, so we didn't want to like take the chance of missing out on maybe getting the chance to meet him, which it's not really spoiler alert, but surprise, he's coming to Calgary now too, so
but we don't know. He said he was coming, but there's been no guest announcements.
This is true. We'll see, possibly. But
he may have just lied to us, so we'll find out.
I will be so heartbroken. I'll be like, Steven, you have failed this city.
Right? I was happy to meet more of the Flash gang.
Yeah.
Even though it was funny, because I was like, I haven't seen any of the Flash people. Then the more I thought about it, I was like, I've seen quite a few, actually. I don't know what the hells I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I think you've seen and met the most Arrowverse people out of all of us.
I think left from the Arrowverse, because we were kind of talking about this, is Grant for sure.
Yep.
And then, oh yeah, I said I wanted to meet Joe.
Yes, Joe.
I think he'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm. But regardless, it was lots of fun. We got to meet Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow himself. I got to shake his hand. He commented on my shirt. I was wearing my Sunspin shirt, which is Michael Rosenbaum's band. And then we got our picture with him.
Ah!
There it is.
Look at those sons of bitches.
The new Team Arrow.
Right? He also complimented my jacket.
Yes, he did.
He said, look like a jacket he's worn.
Yep.
So I'm just going to interpret that he liked my jacket.
Yes. And I like that too. I think we talked about this, but I like that we're all basically wearing like Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl colors. So we're like super well Arrowverse color coordinated. Like this is perfect.
Hells yeah. Hells yeah. But what I thought, apart from that, did you watch anything? I'm so behind. I haven't watched a single Oscar movie in a hot minute, so
yeah,
do
same.
A lot of rushing this week.
I mean, well, honestly, it wasn't until our Uber driver who drove us to the airport when he started playing Danger Zone, which is the theme from Top Gun, until he started playing that in my brain went, oh yeah, I should probably watch the new Top Gun movie because the Oscars are coming up soon, and that is on the list of Best Picture movies that we have to watch.
And you have Paramount Plus.
I do, yes, so I can watch it.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yes, so that'll probably be this week's project, is to watch more Oscar movies.
Right.
I also have the Life with Derek reunion movie to watch as well, if anybody cares.
I didn't check if I could record it.
No.
I'm sure there's another way I can find it online.
I feel like it's probably going to get, like, replayed at some point.
I'm sure, too. Right? That's what I'm hoping for.
It's the Family Channel.
Right? I will say that was fun, just watching reruns of Life of Derek.
Oh, yeah.
That was an entertaining part of the trip.
That was a great way to fall asleep.
I guess really the only thing I did, granted this was like a week and a half ago, was I had finished the new Velma show on HBO.
Oh, yeah?
Or on Crave.
I remember you telling me you have some thoughts on it.
I mean, the whole internet has thoughts on it.
Ooh.
As they say, when a show this bad is actually reuniting people or joining people together for a great cause of hating the show.
Oh no!
It's not good. It's
Daddy
not
no.
Good. Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
Oof.
I don't know. Like, again, it was kind of funny because I was watching someone else's review or critique on the show on it, and he made this joke that it's like it's based off like a a bunch of children's, you know, cartoons and movies, and yet people are so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Not saying that, like, you can't have, you know, if there's something you like, you know, you like what you like, but to be this heated over a cartoon kind of thing is like, and to be fair, I think a lot of hate, actually, I shouldn't say a lot of hate, but a big, you know, thing front and center is that they changed a lot of the characters' ethnicities. So Velma is Indian, Shaggy's played by a black guy, and Daphne is Asian. I think Fred's the only one who stays white.
Okay.
And again, I've said this 1,000 times. I don't give a shit. You want to change the characters? Go for it. Like, these guys have been around since 1964, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say people's imaginations in 1964 weren't the best, but I mean, they were just a whole white. It's just a white group. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, again, like, just speaking of, like, the original cartoon, they really didn't have personalities. Like, I love Scooby-Doo, and I love watching the old cartoons, and truth be told, none of them really had personalities. The show was about Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like...
So he was the most animated out of the group. Like, I mean, you're like, oh yeah, Fred is the trap guy. Velma's smart, and you're like, danger-prone Daphne. Like, they're very one-dimensional characters.
Yeah.
You know? Just because it's, you know, it was a Saturday cartoon.
Yeah, it was just meant to be kind of like lighthearted, fun, and
right.
yeah, there wasn't really much like character arcing or depth that need to be put into it.
Right, but I would say, like, slowly over the years, like, they have adopted kind of like more personality traits, and some stuff has stuck over the years because it really worked, and sometimes it didn't, so then it would just disappear. So, like, I don't know. To me, like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, sure, why not? I would love to see, like, something different, but it's just, it wasn't a good time to watch. It just felt like the people who made the show did not care they were making a show about Scooby-Doo.
Or they didn't, like, watch anything Scooby-Doo related previous.
Like, they basically were like, what is I thought of it this morning. What is it like? Like, it's like an Adult Swim cartoon to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, they wanted to be really edgy and make all these like comments on like shows and like stereotypes, but like it didn't deliver. Like, there were so many lines. Like, the one that I remember was was when Velma made this comment about how, like, people would still hang around, like, malt shops. And they're like, and they would get wisdom from a sassy black person or a sassy, like, person of color. And I'm like, where's the joke? Like, to me, it's just, it feels like it's coming from a place of bitterness.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of these tropes exist, and sometimes they're not good. So if you can make a joke or, you know, actually, like, bring something to the table, then great. That's awesome. But a lot of the time it just felt like it was just like angry rantings.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I totally enjoy this.
Yeah, I totally know what you're talking about, because I feel like I've caught that in a lot of newer shows myself these days. And it's like, okay, are we just doing this because it's what people are talking about now, so we feel like if we don't include it, it's gonna like be the death of the show, or it's gonna be the thing that like makes or breaks the show getting seen, kind of thing. Like, it's like, oh, we have to acknowledge these things in order to be included, you know. And again, like you said, these are all real things that happen, and things that people do need to, you know, have conversations about, and things that, you know, there's some things that need to change. But yeah, if there's a joke in there, make it work. But otherwise, yeah, it's just like I don't know. I feel it's a question I have. I'm like, is it like a mandatory thing to have to include these tropes in to shows nowadays, because we feel like that's the only way it's going to get taught, like this history is going to get taught to kids, or, you know, like I don't know, it's weird. I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, there was another example in the opening of the pilot where they were talking about how, like, a show will include like sex or nudity to like get your attention into the show.
Yeah. And
it's a bunch of girls showering in like the gym change room, and they have this whole conversation about it. But it like led to nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
like yeah, that could have been really funny and a very funny comment to make, but instead, like, I don't know, it just didn't Didn't go anywhere.
Weird.
There were like these very, I will say, there was these tiny nuggets of like, wow, that was really funny. Why couldn't the rest of the show be like this? Like,
Yeah.
what? So like, it kind of irked me in a way that it's like, okay, so you have like,
Potential.
like it's there, like, but like, why?
Yeah.
It's so weird to me. And again, everyone's upset because Velma's a lesbian. And again,
Oh, I do remember reading that.
I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
these characters were not, like, they're not very dimensional. Like, what was my thought, though? Although I think this was before this show come out. I think that, like, for quite a while now, they have been hinting at, like, Velma's sexuality for a long time.
Yeah.
And how it's main... And again, I think just because it was a very basic cartoon, you're like, oh, Fred and Daphne are together, Shaggy and Velma are together. There was no actual reason for it. It was just, those are the 4 human characters, and we just matched them up. Like, there was no reason for them to be matched up, but they just are. So, like, why not explore other things with the characters, you
right?
know?
Yeah, well, I always, for some reason, I always thought, unless there was one time, was there a time when Velma and Fred were a thing? Or was that just the live
but
movies?
like the live movie, again, one of those changes, right, is they brought that in, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Because it has happened a couple times, but again, maybe just because people they were like, we don't like this, and maybe they're like, you know what, there's nothing we could explore with this, put it away.
Right? Yeah.
Because normally their thing is always like, you wouldn't be friends with a smart person, you're just a hot, dumb jock kind of thing, you know?
Right.
So, like... Again, I don't care if you want to try something new out of the box, but maybe put some more thought into it. Like,
yeah, there has to be more.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
Like minus all like the controversy. I'm just gonna air quote controversies because really, is it really a fucking controversy?
Yeah,
it's silly. Anyways, I think if you get past all the really stupid criticisms, I do think the show is not very good. However, the animation, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And again, these weird nuggets of gold that apparently they were just like, goodbye, we don't want that. As part of the show, Velma, as part of the big mystery, she's looking for her mom.
Okay.
But she has a lot of anxiety over it because as a child, she blamed herself for her mom leaving her.
Okay.
And so that kind of manifests in like these trippy hallucinations that kind of, to me, bring this nice callback of like when they were chasing like quote unquote monsters. And that's like her anxiety takes those forms of like these monsters that you would totally see in like an old Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Okay.
And it was just, to me, I thought it was done really well and like a very interesting part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the very few reasons I continued to watch.
Okay.
You know? So it just sucks, though, that, like I said, there's, like, these very rare nuggets of gold, but it's just, like, they didn't really want to, like, I don't know, continue to make a good show around it. And, again, maybe this is also the tip of the iceberg of the most upsetting thing, that it's getting a season 2.
Really?
It has been greenlit for a season 2, even though the episodes have been received so poorly. But I think because, again, this generated so many people I know, content creators, made videos on this, and I think it was trending for a while. The studio sees that as, let's make more. So it's just wild to me. And again,
let's
I think
just fuel the hate.
right. And again, it also sucks because I have to double check the article, so I don't want to spread false information. But from what I understand, they canceled 3 other animated shows they were planning to do this one.
Really?
So again, I don't know if people who are fans of that show are also upset now because it's like, oh, you canceled my thing to make this. And yeah, I don't know. I was expecting more from the creator, Mendakili? No, that's not how you say it at all. My brain not working. The girl from The Office. And,
Mindy Kaling.
Thank you.
She created it?
Yeah, she's one of the show creators. Yeah, and she's the voice of Velma.
Oh, wow.
I think, again, have to maybe double check, but my friend was saying it was her and her other writing partner who was also from The Office. I can't think of his name. The other guy.
Novak?
whoever her best friend was in the show or whatever.
Yeah.
That other guy.
Yeah.
They are both, I guess, either I think creators/writers on the show.
Okay, interesting. I'm surprised that it's being received so poorly then, because they're, at least, I mean, I only really know them through The Office, and The Office was a hit comedy show, so you think that it may be, but then again, who knows how much,
right,
like I don't say how much involvement, but how much extra was, like,
right, that's
added
why,
on top of their stuff, right?
Right, that's why I'm like, it's like, blaming them, because, yeah, truthfully told, I don't know, and I'm sure there's other writers. I think maybe just because you see those two names, maybe people have just been focused in on just that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the show gets a lot of undeserved hate for a lot of very stupid things from, you know, certain groups of people who apparently don't like, you know, people of color or da-da-da-da-da. But I'd say as a show as a whole, it's not good. I didn't really enjoy it. And like I said, maybe it was just upsetting because I did see those nuggets of gold. So I was like, there could have been potential here.
Yeah.
As a mature, darker version of Scooby-Doo. This could have been great. But alas, it just, like I said earlier, it kind of just felt like they maybe wanted to make an adult-style swim show. But they're like, okay, you can, but you have to do it with the Scooby-Doo license. And they're like, okay. Because I didn't feel that love for it. But
Yeah.
again, at the end of the day, it is a very silly cartoon that I've grown up with and now is part of my identity forever. But, I mean, maybe season 2 might be better, but woof is what I got. Woof is all I have. Exactly. It was, and again, they had so many cool voice actors. I'm like, why are you wasting all these people's time?
Yeah.
They had, Melissa Fumero, no, the girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine who played Amy.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the show. Russell Crowe's in the show, and he's pretty fucking funny. I haven't heard him in, like, ages. He was great. And they have Nicole Byer in the show.
Oh, nice.
And a whole bunch of other comedians. I'm like, why are you wasting these guys' time?
Yeah.
Why are you wasting their time and their talents?
Yeah.
Weird-ass show. But anyways, I definitely need a palate cleanser from that. I don't know what it's going to be, but I definitely need a palate cleanser from that. And I think at this point it's going to have to be the Oscar movies because I'm behind.
Oscar movies or Life with Derek. Just Life with Derek.
Right? That's the plan.
There we go.
Anyways, thank you for listening to today's episode. I know it's mostly about our travels and stuff, but we hope you really enjoyed it. And
yeah. We'll be back to doing more reviews on Oscar films next week.
Hopefully.
And some other exciting stuff as the weeks progress. But other than that, leave a like if you liked this episode. If you're a fan of the comic expos, if you're a fan of Stephen Amell, any of those kinds of things, give us a like and subscribe to our channel for more fun chats and talks like this. You can also go and check out some of our other podcasts. We've got a whole plethora of different things that we talk about. Movies, games, books, TV shows, you name it. We've got it all. And consider liking some of those as well. But other than that, have a great Tuesday, everybody. And we'll see you next week. Oh, watch all the content.
Watch all the content.
I will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Monkey.
Monkey.
And...